But when she said that, it was like, damn, like, I appreciated that more than she realized. And so it's that, for one. The light in me recognizes the light in you. But more so, because the way I came into this world, and then the way that I made choices to make my life harder, I will say, the pain in me recognizes the pain in you. You know what I'm saying? The rejected, what if I'm not worth a person even looking at in me, recognizes that in you. Look at all the pain that I caused. All that must be meant for me in the rest of this life is pain. In me recognizes that in you. The shame in me recognizes the shame in you. The need for God in me recognizes the need for God in you. Let's go ahead and take a deep breath. In, out. Thank you that your mercies and your favor and your forgiveness renews every day. We need more people who don't got it together, who look like who is this person that's talking and talking about God and talking about business and talking about hope and talking about the future and talking about love. How dare he? We need more people like that, Lord, because when people only see examples that look like them, that say, hate, hurt, stay stuck in the same cycle, they lead them. Yo, excuse me. What's good, family? So, first and foremost, God loves you, and I love you. And the title or whatever of this live is Defeat the Devil You Know and Shake the World. And so I'm going to talk about the just the risk of what happens when we stay the same and only move towards what's familiar. You know what I'm saying? And I'm riding to work. I'm going to try to get I don't know. We're just ride with me, family. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be what it's gonna be. First, let's go ahead and pray. Before we do that, family, let's go ahead and take a deep breath. In, out. Fam, if you got the time, you got the space, and you have the ability to do it, we're gonna take another breath. And when you exhale, go ahead and let that come out, that sigh, whatever that sounds like. So in, out. One more. This time, family, as you breathe in, try to breathe starting and all the way down to your belly to start, up into your chest. And as you exhale, try to let that exhale be twice as long as that inhale. Okay? So we're gonna go in, out. So, let's go on and pray real quick. Dear Lord, thank you for another day. Thank you for this opportunity, Lord. Thank you that your mercies and your favor and your forgiveness renews every day. Just because every day we wake up and we start over and we have a chance and we need it. And you're there and you are the same. And the same forgiveness that we had yesterday from you, Lord, we have it today if we remember. And the same blessings that we had yesterday from you, Lord, we have it today if we remember. and the same intention and value and purpose and protection and vision and guidance and wisdom and your Holy Spirit and the sacrifice of your Son and the path that you laid out for us, Lord, and just the knowledge and the takeaways that are in nature and business and in books and all those things that were there yesterday, they're here today. And as long as this world spins, Lord, those same things are here today. But the reason that we look to those things, Lord, the reason you call us to look to those things is not to be stuck and repetitive. Those things give us, those things give us life. Those are life-giving things, Lord. Whether in their example, whether in the rest that we find in it, in the salvation, in the confidence and the humility, in the purpose that shapes us and guides our step. That those things that are there yesterday, that are here today, that those things aren't meant to be look back at if they cause us fear. And if they are meant to be looked back at and they cause us fear, Lord, and anxiety and pain and depression and shame, that in those moments, Lord, there is something that works to the good. And maybe we need to remember that before we look back, and as we look back, to find the lesson, to find the blessing. Even if it's, I thought I would have died that day, and I didn't, and I'm still here. So we thank you in advance, Lord, for everything that you've already done, yesterday, today, tomorrow, and in the future. Lord, be with your children, Lord. We need you. We need your example in our lives, and to recognize that maybe if we can find one way, because you found one way, to look at everything, as we approach everything else, that it'll start to put things in focus, and it'll that more and more we'll see that we're more and more capable. So we just thank you, Lord, in Jesus' name. Lord, if there's anybody, I say if there's anybody, Lord, you know that we need you, because there's so much pain and fear in this world right now. Been that way for a long time, Lord, and sometimes it feels like it's getting to be more and more so. And more, what I realize is that means that we need more leaders. We need more endurable people. We need more people who are seeking you. We need more people who don't got it together, who look like who is this person that's talking and talking about God and talking about business and talking about hope and talking about the future and talking about love. How dare he? We need more people like that, Lord, because when people only see examples that look like them, that say, hey, hurt, stay stuck in the same cycle, they move towards that. But I believe Jesus said, man, he said something about like my students know my voice, or my flock knows my voice. So however it goes, Lord, you know what you said. But Lord, what we take from that is that we're gonna be rejected. But to somebody, somewhere, something inside of them, just by example, just by our willingness to be kind, just by our willingness to make eye contact and smile. If it's meant for that person, it'll speak to them, Lord. But it's on us to be bold enough and humble enough, all at the same time, to step forward, even though things don't look right, even though we still ain't figured it out, even though because you working it out, even though we still don't have it, even though we're still not there yet, even though we still in pain, we still tired, we still nervous, we still have you. In Jesus' name. So, defeat the devil you know and shake the world. We come into this world, well, let's look at this, right? In Genesis, mind you, I'm driving, family, so You know, you got your Bible, you want to, go find the facts or whatever. But, in Genesis, God did a lot of separating. You know what I'm saying? Separating the light from the dark. You know what I'm saying? Which put evil and good far from each other. You know what I'm saying? Put sin and righteousness far from each other. You know what I'm saying? Polar opposites of this world. You can never touch. Everything in between is just various degrees, but sin is sin, and it takes us away. Feel like it's a great time and a place to say. I say that knowing I done messed up so many times in my life. Lied, cheat, stole, broke, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, I am not nowhere near a perfect person. I don't pretend to be. I won't pretend to be. I will say that I know that on my on my best days, and sometimes, and even in my worst days, that I'm trying, falling short all the time. I still cuss, right? I still listen to music that I don't listen to gospel music 24/7. You know what I mean? I watch movies and shows and things that honor God. I'm absolutely aware of that. I don't say that cavalierly. You know what I'm saying? But I know that my pursuit is to be loving and kind, and to be a service, and to figure out how to be a blessing, even if it's just holding the door or smiling at somebody, waving at the buses as they ride by when I walk the dogs. And I feel like I'm nobody special, and I am the right person to do the thing that God has called me to do. And if I keep pushing forward, that'll be shown to me, despite all of the things that you might know that you could use, that you might be hearing in your mind right now. That might have made you, even if you're not here before, you know what I'm saying, that might have made you even hop off like, man, here this joker go again. You know what I'm saying? I don't know who he think he is talking about this. What is he, a preacher now? Nah, definitely not. You know what I'm saying? I just have been leaning into investigating and understanding the word. Why? A little while ago, I went to a yoga class, and at the end, the girl said, she finished the practice and was thanking everybody, and she said, the light in me recognizes and honors the light in you. It kind of makes me start to tears. I think about it. It's funny, man. Like, as much as you got friends and you got family. Sometimes like the repetitive things that you hear don't really speak to the good. You know what I'm saying? They don't really energize you. Like, they don't. They don't make you feel connected. But when she said that, it was like, damn, I appreciated that more than she realized. And so it's that, for one. The light in me recognizes the light in you. But more so, because the way I came into this world, and then the way that I made choices to make my life harder, I will say, the pain in me recognizes the pain in you. You know what I'm saying? The rejected, what if I'm not worth a person even looking at in me, recognizes that in you. Look at all the pain that I caused. All that must be meant for me in the rest of this life is pain. In me recognizes that in you. The shame in me recognizes the shame in you. the need for God in me recognizes the need for God in me. There's a lost track of mine, man. Excuse me. I think, like, I never understood, and I don't think there's a way for me to even try to translate to you so you understand. I never understood how much we do as people, how much society, like the things that we call innovation and progress that are happening now, laid on top of the history of trauma and hatred and murder and rape and just destructiveness and abuse and usury that this country is built on, this world in general, but family, this country is built on. I wrote a paper a little while ago, and when I started writing it, it was as the election was coming up, and hearing, all the stuff, and, the campaigning, and Trump this, and Kamala that, and, make America great again, make America great again. And, I made a video and I said that I believe that that voting for Trump, or if Trump becomes president, it could be the worst thing that happens for this country. And a lot of people automatically started telling me why I was wrong according to their reasons. You know what I'm saying? Which I had some good conversations, but I'll be honest with you. I wrote 20 pages of stuff with a bunch of resources and a bunch of sites and all this other stuff. A bunch of links. I could have done it better as far as like linking and whatever. I'm not a writer. I'm not whatever. It's been a long time since I've done a report or anything like that. It was more so a story. But I wrote 20 pages, and probably only one person, and he wasn't opposed to what I was saying, probably only one person who read it that I said it to, responded back to me based off of the words that I said, not based off of what that person, was already decided, had already decided. And one, that tells me something, right? Well, it tells you something, right? That it opens up a question: is, are you listening to understand, or are you listening to respond? And do you understand everything that you don't agree with? Now, feed the devil you know and shake the world. Okay? So, everything in life is leadership. Everything in life is communication. Everything in life is creativity, leadership. What we do, we're always influencing the people around and ourselves. Communication. Just to get into the car and drive and go to this place, there was so much communication that had to happen. I am going to work at this place. I am a bartender. I have to get there. There's going to be traffic. There's going to be da-da-da. There's all this communication. There's communication happening in my body, throughout my body, from my brain as I talk to you now. And my body drives this vehicle. I am not telling myself to press the gas and press the this and the that and to watch out, there's lights and da-da-da-da. I've already trained myself, trained my brain, trained my automatic responses to show up in this moment this way, so that I can do this thing. Not in preparation of this, but so that I can do this thing. And to that, I'm all over the place with this family, but ride with me, man. We gonna, as Bishop said, man, I feel something pulling. You know what I'm saying? So everything's communication. Okay. There's a verse that said, before you were born I called you. Before you were born I knew you. Okay. Now, that's God's plan. In the beginning I said, I was talking about, I know I've been all over the place with this. I was talking about when God created the earth, he separated life from death, good from evil. You know what I'm saying? When he, the things that had life, when he created the earth, the things that had life, God called them out of the earth. You know what I'm saying? He called them out of the earth, and that was where they got life from, and gave them the power and the mission and the purpose to keep creating that same life. And when he formed us out of the dirt and the dust, that dirt and dust was dead. And he breathed life into us. Okay? So, roll with me now. I think my mind is taking this in a way that it in a different direction. But still the same. Okay? So he breathed breath in us, breathed life into us. So without him, we're dead. Okay? When Adam and Eve came into this world, well, let's look at it like this. So let me go here. Let me go here. Maybe here's some direction, right? I believe that, when it comes to knowledge of good and evil, the more evil that is coming to this world, I believe, I was thinking about it this morning. I think that everything that God said about how to live life, I think everything he said was obviously good for people, but if you applied it to your brain, then that may shake the world. So this is all clear in my head, right? But as I try to talk it out, it's kind of getting jammed up. But so the more, all right, so boom, here we go. All right, so knowledge of good and evil. Okay, so I'm with it. I got it. It's just these words. It's all coming from all these places. So, all right. So when it came to knowledge, what that meant was experiential knowledge, right, of evil. So, what is good? In Genesis, as God was doing things, he was setting up systems like, all right, boom, here's a tree. We're gonna make, we're gonna put it here. It's gonna grow like this. We're gonna put these. We're gonna put bees to pollinate. We're gonna have this happen, and this is gonna interact with this, and this is gonna contribute to this, and it is good, which meant that it works. It is functional. If it continues happening that way, it will continue to work, and it will continue to be good, and it will continue to produce life. You know what I'm saying? So then, the things that were, so God didn't want us to eat, boom, don't eat from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. So of the experiential knowledge of good and evil, don't eat from that tree, because at the time, all that man knew how to do was go, all right, boom, here's this thing that God gave us. This is what, it looks like. This is what I can, God told him, man, be fruitful, multiply, have dominion, go and learn about these things. I feel like, man, with Genesis in the beginning, man, it was like show and tell for Adam. You know what I mean? It was like, God was like, man, look at this. What do you think of that? Look at this. What do you think of that? Oh, I call that this. I call that that. Oh, yeah, what do you want to do with that? You should do, you know what I mean? That was the point. Like, God put all this stuff here, created this platform where we could go, well, there's trees. Let's take those trees and we can make them this. We can use firewood, but we can't just kill the trees because we need them. So we got to preserve some of them. We still got to take care of them. Like, that was the point. Like, use them to your good. Learn to understand them, but also learn to understand them and take care of them, because if you learn to take care of them as you use them to your good, they're going to continue to benefit you. You know what I mean? And you're going to continue to benefit it. Connection, you know what I'm saying? Contribution, creativity, all in one. You know what I mean? Like, that's fulfillment. You know what I mean? Because you have to go from a place of no knowledge. That's what he did, man. Look at this. What do you think of it? No knowledge. All right, boom. You think this of it. What are you going to do with it? All right, cool. I could do this. I could do that. Da-da-da-da-da-da. So, it was just forward motion. It was just forward motion. It was still a bunch of understanding. It literally said, man, God made man like him in most ways, in some ways. But God was omnipresent, you know what I mean, and all knowing. And we didn't get that, right? So we couldn't be everywhere. We couldn't see all the ends. We don't know everything. We don't know how it's all going to turn out. But it was like, bruh, look, I gave you this stuff. Be fruitful, multiply, do stuff with it, create with it. Use it to take care of your family, all this other stuff, right? It's all there. He put gold in the land. You know what I mean? He put provision in the land. He put the keys of prosperity in those lands, like for people to go out and find. Gold does not just rain from the sky, family. Gold that is in the land, you have it is mined for, it is dug out, it is sifted for and refined down and burnt and put in the it's put in the crucible. It has the dross and everything taken out. It has to be refined, and then it gets shaped into something else, and then it can be shaped into something else. And he put that in this earth, an everlasting element. You know what I mean? But it had to be found. People had to go out and find it. We still have to go out and find it. Like, that was the point. The point was, God was like, man, like, look, I put all this stuff out there with this infinite mind that I have, and I want you to enjoy it and spend your life enjoying it and reaching for things and creating things and doing more. Don't look at the evil, okay? So all that they knew was their blessing, right? Oh, be fruitful, multiply, have dominion. This is what's meant for us. You know what I'm saying? Don't look at the evil. Now, because it won't work. If you do things that way, it won't work. Off the rip. That was the first, come on, bro. That was the first, back that John up. That was the first boundary, right? Like, literally. That was God showing and setting the boundary, right? God said, man, all of this, and it's going to continue producing and producing and producing and producing and growing, and you're going to do things with it, and you're going to make things, you know what I mean, and you're going to make it better, but don't do this. That's the boundary, family. That's what, you know what I mean, like, there are things that will work and there's things that will not work. God said, man, look, if I do all these things for you, you know what I'm saying, like, I will do any and everything for you. I just got my line. You know what I'm saying? Mind you, I believe his intention and his knowledge was the fact that he knew we were going to have a brain. Because look at this. One, we started with everlasting life. You know what I'm saying? And that's the point of Jesus, right? Is to get back to everlasting life. Because physically, the way that we live, as more, so boom, everlasting life. All right, Adam and Eve messed that up, right? So then you look at the lifespans throughout the Bible, right? Adam and them, I think it just starts with Moses and them. I don't got it in front of me, right? So don't quote me, whatever. But lifetimes were like 800 years. You know what I'm saying? There's a helicopter lifting off in the Pentagon. Lifetimes with 800 years. You know what I mean? And there's more sin, more frustration, more anger, more hatred, more death, more betrayal, more worry, more stress, more all of those things, more evil, more things that when you look at them, they give you pause and they stop, and more shame. More things that as when you look at them, when you have experiential knowledge of them, mind you, from either your life or your imagination, because the beautiful thing about a brain is if you can think about an event, you can think about what would, how it would happen, and you can think about how you would feel, and you can think about what you could do or would do, your brain doesn't know the difference. That is an experience, which is a power and a poison at the same time, because, NFL players, NASCAR drivers, they visualize all the time. You know what I'm saying? They go through the process. You know what I mean? They know the track before they ever even get there. Just watching it on video, boom, they close their eyes. Them F-150, the Formula 1 drivers, they close their eyes and they visualize this turn and they visualize getting high on this one, da-da-da. And when they get there, they're moving at such fast speeds, but it's like they've already been there because they did it in their mind. They ran through it in their mind. They saw it. They had the event. They knew how it would feel. They felt themselves going through the G-forces, da-da-da. Priming, procedural memory, all these things, okay? But don't have knowledge and experience of the evil, is what God said. You know what I'm saying? Because look what happened with Adam. Because it's like compounding statements. Because sin is waiting at your door. Okay? Look what happened with Adam and Eve. Boom. Ate from the apple. Okay? I mean, ate the fruit. Boom. Instantly felt shame. Before that, they were naked and unashamed. Instantly felt shame. Putting things between men and women since then and now. You know what I mean? Instantly felt shame. I'm sure Adam felt like, man, this broad. But at the same time, like, bro, if you was a better man, like, you know, she would have fell in line, like, you know, all these things. You know what I mean? Like, top of that, man, I've been here with God all this time. I know everything that God done for me. I haven't even seen everything that He's done for me, and He's already blown my mind. And He only asked me not to do one thing, and I couldn't do it. What's wrong with me? The shame that must have came. You know what I'm saying? But with all that, okay, boom. So there's that, right? So then it says that, you know, then they started, you know, God made them a certain way, naked and unashamed. Everything out in the open, exposed. So then now they got their shame, they got their sin on them, they messed up. Then they start to hide themselves. You know what I'm saying? Then Adam hears God walking in the garden. What does He do? He hides Eve. He hides them. He hides Eve. He wasn't told to do that. He didn't even think about it. He didn't go, and then Adam thought. It was automatic. It was automatic. Sin is waiting at your door. Confirmation bias, all these things. You know what I'm saying? Negativity bias. You know what I mean? Like, our brains on their own are not set up they're set up to help us, but they're not set up to give us, to support our growth, our development, our progress, our more. They're not set up for that. They're set up for, this is a threat to me. I'm not worth. It's set up for that. It's set up to keep you small. Your brain wants to conserve energy. You know what I'm saying? Your brain likes things to be the same. Your brain doesn't want to see if you're not on your goal and you're not on your purpose, your brain does not want to see your wife getting her body together, your husband getting his body together, your boyfriend working on his mindset, if you're not, your girlfriend building a business, if you're not, your son, your daughter being in shape and getting it doesn't want to see it. You know what I'm saying? What, you gonna let me over, bro? What do you think? But that's the point of God, right? It doesn't want to see it. But my point is, life was what Adam and Eve had. Everlasting life. The tree of life was what was available to them. Eat that fruit. You know what I'm saying? Just not the one of good and evil. You know what I'm saying? Because there comes comparison. There goes remembering how things messed up. There goes reminding yourself how things could go wrong. And there goes stealing the energy that you could be putting towards this thing. The way emotional state works, family, is there's rest and digest, and there's fight or flight. And you don't digest in fight or flight. So all the time that you spend, the amount of time that you spend going, oh, but what if this happens? And you're not resting, you're not digesting. So there could be information that you could be taking on or taking in or considering or processing or filling up. You're not digesting. You know what I'm saying? You're not resting. So you're burning energy, you're wasting time, you're wasting resources. You know what I'm saying? And you should be moving forward. On top of that, you are literally making your life shorter. Stress kills, literally. When you are stressed and you are in fear, you have an elevated heart rate, which is cool. But if your heart rate stays high for too long, you know what I'm saying, you end up, having heart issues. And then, your breathing gets short. Your breathing gets short because you might need to run. So your breathing gets short. Having a shortened breath, having short breathing, shortened breath, that's gonna affect your life. Your immune system shuts down because the resources, again, rest and digest is also healing. You know what I mean? Your immune system is healing. So if you're in that fear state, oh, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? What if this? Oh, last time I did this, da-da-da-da. If you're in that fear state, you are not by default, by definition, you are not resting, digesting. You are not healing your body. You are not building your body. That's why people who don't recognize that by working out, by doing the things, they're healing their body, and they still wrestle with going, oh, not that, and this is what your workout is healing because it is healing and it's meant to be. That's just what it does. And if you allow your mind to get in the way, it will steal the resources, just like the placebo effect. The placebo effect works both ways. People will take a sugar pill and think, oh, I feel better. Now that's your brain, bruh. You know what I'm saying? Your brain is shifting you into that place. It's imagining, when I do this thing, I'm going to feel better. It is preparing. Oh, boom, I took this thing, I want to feel better. It is the same thing. It will steal your resources or it will give you resources. You know what I'm saying? But what's that shaped on? Your thoughts. You know what I mean? How you perceive yourself. You know what I mean? What are you looking at? That good or evil? Now, I didn't really make my point, but now I'm gonna make my point, kinda, right? As life went on, throughout history, just in the Bible, and now we're where we're at, right? So throughout the Bible, as more shame and more pain and more war and more betrayal and all this stuff came into the stories of the Bible, lifetimes and lifespans got shorter and shorter. Again, stress, fear, shame, all these things are unhealthy for you. You know what I'm saying? There's a healthy amount of stress. There's a healthy amount of adrenaline, all these things. But if you stay in that place, you know what I'm saying? You are meant to go there. You know what I mean? The more that you put yourself under it, that's why you build your body. That's why you challenge your mind. That's why you intentionally learn things. Because learning is stressful. Learning reshapes your brain. Learning is new neurons. Learning is uncomfortable. It takes energy. Your brain doesn't want that. So if you don't make it do it, it will not do it. It will get stuck in the familiar. Now, what is the brain's the default familiar setting? Negativity. Me. It reminds you of the things that you've done wrong, so it'll keep you in the house. And if you show it, okay, boom. It just wants to help, right? So if you show it, all right, boom. Every time that I remember that I messed up, I don't do the things that I want to do, your brain will go, okay, boom. That's what he wants. Let's help him. And that'll be the most destructive thing for you. But on its own, them stats and them numbers say, every day we have about 60 to 80,000 thoughts, something like that. Brain's constantly processing. We're only aware of about, right now I don't even know what the amount of information that my brain is processing at this moment, right? But I'm only consciously aware of about, if there's a thousand things going on, I'm only consciously aware of about 100. And I'm only actually focused on and have any agency over about 10. You know what I'm saying? That's how we step out into this world. And that's why your brain goes, everything's a threat. Everything is big. Everything can destroy me. Hey, look, Holmes, it's your worst enemy and your best friend because you have God. Because you have guidance, bro. So I'm getting back to it, right? So here's the point. Well, here's and I got to get off here, right? So these conversations, I think the reason why, not even that church happens every Sunday, but like, the point where God said, you're children, we are children of God, right? We are also kings and queens on this earth, right? So in biblical times, it was, right. But in the Bible, it says it is the glory of God to conceal a matter. It is a king's glory or whatever to search out a matter. Matter has the same meaning as thing in Hebrew and word. So there are things hidden in words and words hidden in words and words hidden in things and all this other stuff, right? This is the thing, right? All right, so let me say it like this. Our brains are supposed to constantly be running, right? But if we don't put them in a box, again, within boundaries, if we put them within the boundaries, the way that God shows us to put them in boundaries, then that constant revelation, that constant going, that would be more creativity, more innovation, more connection, more strength, more endurance, more openness, you know what I mean? Like more just takeaways and aha moments and, you know, just more willingness, you know what I mean? But I will tell you now, brother, and I was wrong when I said it, your brain is not your worst enemy, you know what I'm saying? Sin is your worst enemy, you know what I mean? The familiar is your worst enemy. The things that we've been taught about ourselves is our worst enemy. The things that the world says, you black as hell, you don't got a degree, you messed up, this is your job. Those things that because if you don't, because if it's not God led, family, it's only sin. That's it. You know what I mean? There's levels of everything and degrees of everything. We get really good at, like, you know, kind of trying to gloss it over or whatever. But in the end, family, it's hurt. It's damaging. Like, you know, we talk about the kids and we go, oh, well, you know, when we was kids, we did this. All right, cool. Look at us now. You know what I'm saying? Look at us now. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of us who are going through having to heal because of what we did when we was kids. But when it comes to our kids, we're looking at them and going, oh, well, you know, when we was kids, we did this. That's not love. We got to realize that there's a part of us that's saying, I know that this will damage you. Misery loves company, so I'm not going to stop you. You know what I'm saying? There's a part of us that says that. There's a part of us that says, if I have this conversation with you as my child, even though you're my child, you may not love me anymore. You know what I'm saying? Man, look, bro, I'm going to tell you something now, bro. I am the stone that the builder rejected. You know what I'm saying? And that is when you realize it and you lean into it, bro. Not for nothing, everybody wants a whore. You know what I'm saying? Everybody wants a whore. Everybody wants the broad that look good, that don't got no morals, that everybody can hit. You know what I'm saying? Everybody wants that jump. You know what I'm saying? But the jump that has morals, the jump that makes you, the jump that says, hey, jump is like, you know, that's kind of uneducated, and you're more educated than that, and you know, I think you should work on your speech. That jump, don't nobody want her. It's gonna challenge them. You know what I'm saying? There's a beauty in being the thing that people reject, right? But what's the reason why? Absolutely not. It is not easy. It is not easy. And there is nothing about the life that God put in that Bible that says life will be easy. You know what I'm saying? Not for Samson, not for Moses, you know what I mean? Not for David, not for Saul, not for Jesus, not for God. You know what I mean? Not for Sarah, not for Abraham, not for Joseph, not for anybody, bro. You know what I'm saying? So what's the point of that? The point is to remember, before you were born and formed in your mother's womb, I knew you. You know what I'm saying? Chose you. I had more thoughts about you than about the hairs on your head than the grains of sand on the beach. You know what I'm saying? That you are valuable. You know what I'm saying? Everything is everything. That gold that God put out there, that's us. Meant to be cultivated and looked for and searched out and going and found and put under pressure. You know what I'm saying? Put under pressure. Put in the fire. You know what I mean? For all of the bad shit to rise up to the top. You know what I'm saying? And have that scraped out. And to stay in that fire. And have that scraped out. And to stay in that fire. And have that, all that pain, bro. Because under, you know, we're thankful for our tribulations because they build endurance and all that. You know how it go, bro. Absolutely not. This country has not been kind to us as black men. You know what I mean? And I feel like that means that, I mean for any and everybody, but I feel like that means that the more, one of the most beautiful things in this world, stories of triumph, comeback, and all this other stuff, it's a black man that came from nowhere, that has absolutely no business speaking with the authority that he has, with the knowledge that he has, with the confidence that he has, with the love with the love that he has. Because why should he speak with love? He's been hated by this world all the time. You know what I mean? Like, Bro, my name is Khalil. I got a record. You know what I'm saying? I got scars on my face and tattoos on my body, bro. You know how it is, man. You walk this work. But there's a person whose heart is the right heart. Just like the story of the sower and the seeds, where some seed falls on rocky land and some seed falls on fertile soil. There's a person who sees when you look and you turn all of that struggle, all of that hatred, all of that setback, and you still smile and you still stand tall and you still absolutely. It's deeper than this, bro. I'm running and scrambling. And I'm really supposed to be out this whip right now. I gotta go. Yeah, I'm really doing this all backwards, but it's all good. Absolutely. It goes deeper than this, bro. Like, that's why it's tough for me to even get all this out, because it's a lot of things that come into my mind as I talk about it. But there is no story of there's no testimony, there's no story of triumph without the tribulation, without the falls. And that's not cliche, that's what it is. In order to triumph, you have to go to war. You know what I'm saying? In order to triumph, you have to go to war. In order to have a testimony, there has to be roadblocks and things that smacked you down. And I thought I wasn't gonna get back up, and I thought it was over for me. Jonah Jonah dying in the ocean, getting tossed out, running from what God called him to do, destroying the lives of the sailors, the ship he was on. Like, that's real. Like, you know what I mean? They had to throw their cargo out. I didn't even think about that the other day. And that's them little signs and symbols God's hiding in his word. Jonah had a calling. God said, go do this. Jonah said, nah, I ain't gonna do that. And he put in a lot of effort to get away. And then his getting away, the sailors on that boat that Jonah got thrown off of, those sailors threw their cargo into the ocean. Jonah ruined them people's lives. You know what I'm saying? By being off his purpose. You see what I'm saying? By not being who he was called to be, he ruined those people's lives. But still, when they threw him off of that boat, when the ocean was calling him down, it was pulling him down and all this other stuff, but still, he called out to God. You know what I'm saying? And God was still able to use him. And there's a picture in that says, bruh, when you ain't on purpose, when you ain't doing the things that you called to do, when you following this and following yourself instead of following God, one, it's gonna be tough. You got to do a whole lot to run from God, and even if you do, you still can't get away from him. There's a lesson. But when you do, and as you run in your all purpose, it's not just affecting you, because God said be fruitful and multiply. So the things that you do, they will produce. Sin is waiting at your door, just like the good. The good just is a lot harder to produce. But Jonah being off of his purpose affected the lives of the people that he was around. And those wasn't even people that was his family. They was just people that he happened to be near. You know what I'm saying? They was helping him out. You know what I mean? That was their ship. They was helping him out. And he messed their stuff up. And God still used them. Excuse me. So it means it's never late. And you are not alone. And you still have value. You still have purpose. Just like that gold. The same story about the clay that was marred in the potter's hand. That just means it was messed up in the potter's hand. We're the clay. And it's God's hand. So we're in his hand. We can still get messed up in it. But he reshaped that clay, and he made it into I think he said in there, he made it into a vase and it poured out water. So there's never a time that you cannot decide that even though all these things, even though all this exists, how can I get on track? That's meditation. This is the goal. Here's the path forward. I get off track, I get distracted, I get stressed. Let me get back on track. Anxiety doesn't come from God. Fear doesn't come from God. You know what I'm saying? Answer that with that. That's powerful enough just in itself. It's been written down for thousands and thousands of years. Answer those fears in your mind right now, the stress in your mind right now, the shame in your mind right now, with something that's been written down for thousands and thousands and thousands of years. And it's going to stay. It's not going nowhere. It's all around this world. Anxiety does not come from God. The spirit that God gives me is not one of anxiety and fear, but one of strength, one of peace and love and kindness and patience and forbearance and a sound mind and discipline. You know what I'm saying? Like, Absolutely. It does not mean all of the other things don't happen, right? And aren't there, right? There's a place in the Bible that says, man, like we're always kind of feeling like, man, like we got we think we got too much time, or we think we don't got enough time, right? In the Bible it says, man, you know, there's a place where it talks about, man, even some of these who great men of faith stayed faithful and didn't see, absolutely, stayed faithful and didn't see the reward of their actions, right? Moses didn't make it to the promised land. But look at everything that happened because he did all the things that he did. The thing that God calling us for, more and more that I see, family, is not having and attaining. It is being. It is pursuing. Because there's somebody who needs to see, no matter where you at, no matter where I'm at, there's somebody who needs to see you where you at. Say, today, in this moment, I'm going to put my best foot forward. I'm going to get back on track. I'm going to be a little kinder. I'm going to smile, even though when I walk down this street full of all these white people, black as I am, they're not going to look at me when I walk by. There's a bunch of people who are going to look at me, see me smile, and look away. You know what I mean? It's going to happen every day. Every day it happens. I walk down these streets every day, smiling at people, waving at freaking butt. Every day. And every day, you know what happens? People look away. But it's people who smile back. And that's the point. So that familiar that we have to fight, family, is the fact that it is easy for us to remember why we can't and what's in the way and how we messed up and the whole path of how everything got here. And, you know, white people is this and black people is this and the Hispanics and the died and the Jews and the frickin' Republicans and the Democrats and the liberals and the GOP and all these things. Absolutely. But everything that we're doing right now, all these words that we're doing right now, as we're basing things off these memories, everything that we do this week will shape the lives of our families for the next 20, 30 years. So what are you looking at? You know what I'm saying? I got to get off here. It will shape the lives of our families for the next 20, 30 years. So what are you looking at? You know what I'm saying? It can shift the world. You know what I mean? That person who you cut off, they could be a lawmaker who's headed to vote to Congress to vote on a bill that could change things to the good or to the bad, and you tip the scale and then they vote to the bad. You never know. You are more important than you think. You're more valuable than you think. You're more needed than you think. Your kindness, your love, your patience, it is more needed, and it does not come easy. And even though you decide to do that, even though today you decide I'm just gonna be, this is who I'm gonna be today. Everything that you messed up yesterday, it's still messed up. And that's why it's tough to move forward today. But you got today. So everything that you feel bad about from yesterday, today is the best thing and the best opportunity that you have to change it, to make it mean something. If you're worried about what's coming, what's on the way tomorrow, today is the best opportunity that you have to put something out there that could shift the tide. I'm going to leave it with this, man. I really do got to get off of here, man. A while ago, I read this saying that said, when every day is the same, it's because we forget how much a blessing it is to wake up every single day. It's a gift. It's a gift. No matter what we've been through, personally, individually, as a society, as a race, black people, white people, no matter what we've been through, everything that has brought us here has been a gift. I did not drive any of the thousands of cars that I drove past today as I was running my mouth, and none of them hit me. I'm here. It is a gift. This life is a gift. So be a conduit. You know what I'm saying? Pay it forward. I hope it blessed you. I love you. And God loves you. All right, family. All right, Juan. Holla at me, bro, if you need, man. Prayer, we can talk it up, whatever, bro. I'm here. I'm going to work, but I'm here.